participating in the build-up play, has lacked in finishing. Look, he's being searched for again. Samuel Gandhi commits a foul, however. But he offers a tall presence in the box, but also is a player that likes to combine with his teammates. Yeah, this was the goal that was disallowed here. It's that cross from Ba, and then apparently not kept in bound. Difficult for me to agree with the referee on that decision. I'm not in the video assistant refereeing room. Oh, good job from Zambia there. Working the ball now to the captain, Joseph Banda. He has two substitute forwards to look for in Mandani and Chilimina. Bit of a frustrating night out for Joseph Banda. At one point positioned himself perfectly in the box when Pascal Fiori was in front of the goalkeeper. Had he just raised his head and looked to his right, could have been found and could have opened the scoring and got the first goal, not only of this match, but of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations here in Egypt 2025. Of course, Zambia have a heritage of winning this tournament. They did so in 2017 when they defeated Senegal in the final. They've also reached the semifinals in 1991. It was also hosted in Egypt 1999, 2007. However, their most recent appearance, 2023, which was in Egypt as well, didn't end so well. Went winless, 1 draw and 2 losses. Here's Sierra Leone on the right again. And good defending from Hamid Sanya. Contesting the decision from the linesman. The lineswoman. I'm not incorrect. Shamir Nabada ensuring that his temper doesn't flare up too much. Supporters of the young Chopolo Polo here in Egypt. Ismaili, one-time effort from Momo Kamara. Didn't have much height or power. Here he is again, Momo Kamara. Interestingly, the Shooting Stars, 9 of their 10 outfield players well installed in their opponent's half, and that means there's spaces behind the back. But Zambia just have to be quicker in the transitions. They're relying on individual brilliance far too much, and that's leaving time for the Shooting Stars to come back to position. And this time, they do make the most of it, almost so to speak, as Joseph Banda got a look on goal. Could have done better. Really well done from the substitute. He's been stirring trouble. Kagbo. Speculative cross and defended unorthodoxly by Nalumango. But efficient. And now Zambia not playing quick on the counterattacks. Just allows for Jallo to resettle, get into position, and make a defensive play. It's going to be a foot race here between him and the captain, and he wins it. Nathaniel Jallo. Tireless running from Nathaniel Jallo. We've seen him running up and down that right wing. Also making sure he's protecting his behind his back. Strong challenge from Buyoya. He's been quite convincing, the substitute for Zambia. He's come on and been a solid deputy. Matthew to exit prematurely. So here we are, still 0-0 between Aside and Sierra Leone, who are making their first ever appearance in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Qualifying through the WAFU A qualifying tournament. That was played in September 2024. Hosted in Liberia, where they actually defeated Liberia, drew against Guinea, and beat Guinea-Bissau in the group stages, and then surprised almost everyone by eliminating Gambia 3-0 in the semi. And that's how they stamped their ticket to be at this tournament in Egypt. Simple short pass to his defender, Alpha Turai. Oh, it's good. Charging runs from David Simukunda and Pascal Fury. Going in with so much pace, committing.
Tukomeza gukora subscribe kuri Education One. Subscribe kuri Education One. Subscribe please. Subscribe.
It's when Zambia start to really get on their jets. Sprint. Nalumango, is he a target to look for with this long throw in? It's delivered from the throw. Is there going to be a Zambian player to get to it? It's their captain. He's in the mix. Holding on to possession and just unable to face goal. Overcommitment on that challenge from Alpha Kabia. He collects the second yellow card of Sierra Leone's mat for Sierra Leone. Oh yeah, he just charges through the player there as he goes to ground. He did well, Joseph Sabobo Banda, player for FC Zurich. One of the 5 players who were foreign base in this Zambia side. There's also Joseph Liteta, plays in Cagliari, not on the pitch. Andrew Mulenga, of course, who was substituted off. And it's a shot from distance. It goes wide again. He is their designated set-piece taker, Joseph Banda, a leader by behavior, but also by what he can accomplish on the pitch. Header pushed forward by Sierra Leone. And let's have a look at the possession stats. Still heavily in favor of the Shooting Stars, and they've won a corner kick. Will it be an in-swinging effort to dazzle and delight the supporters present here in Ismaila, Egypt? That's played short by the captain, Momo Kamara. He's going to go for goal with his left. Sails as wide as you can get. Goes out for a throw-in on the opposite end of the pitch. Surprising that Buyoya is going to opt for a long throw-in so deep in his own area, but it's a form of a clearance. And they just returned possession. Not the most dazzling build-up play by Zambia on that occasion. For most of this match, unfortunately, but they can be efficient. Here's Banda, cutting onto his preferred right foot. He's having to work against Nathaniel Jallo. Jallo winning his duel. I'd say both all 4 fullbacks tonight have been amongst the most impressive performers. Nathaniel Jallo, the right back, Amara Keita, the left, Sierra Leone. And Buyoya and Hamansenya for Zambia. Very fit, and also very good at closing down on their opponents in the one-on-one situations. That time was Habian Siku, who was perhaps a little bit fortunate to not have had that goal count. It would have been an own goal. And we probably would be watching a very different match had Sierra Leone been given that goal. Perhaps returning from an offside position there, yeah. So Samuel Gandhi. The pace of the match has slowed down a little bit. It's getting a little choppier. We're starting to see the ball flow out of bounds or fouls called here and there. And of course, there's nerves and stress associated with playing in an opening match, but it's a little bit to the detriment of spectacle. Of course, Sierra Leone, had you told them they would start off the tournament with a point as debutants, surely they would take it. But if you do watch the proceedings of this match, they seem to be a little bit unfortunate to at least not have scored once. Even though, to me, Zambia still had the most clear-cut chances of the match through Andrew Mulenga, the opening minutes of this second half, and Pascal Fury for the closing of the first. Senya plays it back into play with the throw. He's going to have to send in a good delivery. Blocked by Sambaba. With authority. Bromby, goalkeeper. Sent in by Banda. Challenge very late. Good defending again from Nathaniel Jallo, I have to say. He's been one of the top performers. Maybe in the first half could have been a little bit more fortunate or have linked up across with a teammate, but he's delivered offensively and defensively. Gandhi at the duel. He's going to chase all the way, and it's another foul. It's been very, very choppy. Two sides contesting every ball. And whoever is late just tends to make the foul, it seems like, in the recent 10-15 minutes of play. Of course, the next match played later tonight will be Egypt against South Africa. That will be played in Cairo. You can watch that either on CAF TV or you can connect to the CAF Online Instagram account to see where you can watch that as well. Bangura coming on, and Dumboya. Two more substitutes for the Shooting Stars. And that'll be all from Samuel Gandhi. So completely changed offense for the Shooting Stars. Mohamed Lamine Camara, the manager of Sierra Leone, making changes. Play forward to Banda. Banda's been part of the national team in. That's from Bangara. Now there's 15 minutes left in this match in regulation time. To wonder how much added time will be shown by the fourth official. Chamira Nevada has had a lot of work to do. There's been quite a few stoppages, especially linked to fouls and just the ball heading out of bounds. So there could be some time added beyond the 90th. It's floated in. Miscommunication between Jallo and his defense. No matter, because it's cleared out. Twice intercepted by Simukonda. Did well there. Pounced upon by Keita. And he's not offsides at number 9 for Sierra Leone. He has to carry on and find the... that was just too predictable. That overlapping run, search for it. And it was picked out by Zambia's defense, but mistake in terms of how that was read. It's a bit chaotic here again in the Zambia box. Sierra Leone, this is where they thrive. Can they make the most of it? And the cross is just not met with an effort. Is it credit to the defense of Hamansenya, or was it just a little bit too approximative from Samuel Ba? Let's see it again. Ba just didn't believe all the way through, did he? Just never pulled the trigger. It's well defended, I guess, by Hamansenya, but it's more just a lack of conviction from Samuel Ba. See it again, yeah. Not much more to say about that, except it's another opportunity squandered by the Shooting Stars. They did a lot to render Zambia uncomfortable, but that's the most that they did, not making them pay. And Buyoya does have distance with his throws. It's going to be the route one option into the box. Maybe a deflection to another forward. Just no consideration for the defender there. I believe it was Mandanji committing the foul. Very long ball, pelted forward. Important midfield battle has to be won here in Zambia. Does well. Philomena Chilamina. Sabobo gets the touch first. Came flying in was number 18, Nathaniel Jallo. Oof. Wasn't going to let the player pass there at all. Isn't booked either. And that's at the corner through that long ball. Through the header of Alpha Turai, number 4 for Sierra Leone. Most of the corners played in by Joseph Banda have been at the first post, at the near post. Is he going to do the same? Yeah, it is. Another near post delivery. And so difficult to score from that angle. I imagine it's what they practiced in training. Kamara looks to his left, finds a new substitute who's come on. Bangura is going to cut onto his right foot. Just sailed over. Kind of seemed like he was always going to be cutting onto his right and going for goal. There was plenty of pace behind that shot, but a little bit uncontrolled from the substitute, number 11. Abdul Bangura, who also plays his club football abroad. Hamansenya doing so well. Perhaps one of the players that has caught my eye from this match for Zambia. Remains on the ground. He's put in a big shift. He's had to work very hard. It was very clear that Sierra Leone were going to continue insisting on his wing and didn't exactly benefit from too much tracking back of Joseph Banda. So really had to almost do the defensive job of two. Of course, there was that controversial moment where goal was annulled, where he was beaten. He didn't block the delivery, at least. Senya, yeah, holding on and making sure on that. Yeah, he was fouled. Frustration from Sambaba. He did have a good chance, however. Sambaba just didn't pull the trigger on that cross. That was maybe a little bit too far away from him, but he didn't commit with all his will. Great tackle to cut that play out from developing. Really wrapped his body around the ball, made sure the contact with Banda was not dangerous or threatening. Textbook stuff. Buyoya, long throw in. Oh, he missed his teammate. Have to be careful and not commit any fouls, but at the same time, they have to defend intelligently. The Shooting Stars. Volley on the first touch, and Amadou Jadot picks up the ball and wastes no time in punting it forward. Hamad Senya, that's poor defending for one of the first times this match. Heads the ball deeper into his own area. He's called to be there on the one-on-one, but again, that's what I was mentioning. He just goes in with so much conviction for lots of his duels. Anticipated effort from Alusine Doumbouya, substitute who came on. They've had more shots, Sierra Leone, but they haven't been taken in high-scoring positions. I have trouble remembering the last time Sierra Leone worked themselves into the box of Zambia. Seems like the young Chopolo Polo mostly relegated the chance creation to take place from the wings. And yeah, you see Sierra Leone, they only have one shot on target. I believe it was Samuel Gandhi's shot in the first half, when he did very well to chase the ball and rob number 14, Milimo Nalumango. Then the shot was on target, but again, lacked some pepper on it. Unconventional first-time defensive play from Buyoya, but works very well. Another unconventional pass, but again, working very well. Buyoya called again. Zambia struggling. They've just been struggling a lot during this match in building up play. For their supporters, they must be slightly concerned. And Zambia are on the back foot here. Sierra Leone, that's one of the few times that they've actually introduced themselves into the box, and that final ball was missing. Number 20 for Zambia goes to ground too easily. No foul called by referee Shamira Nabada. Much more enjoying the pace in this last few sequences of play. Some sloppy giveaways, however. And if on the top of your screen there's a Zambia player who's free and in the space, he's met. Zambia, can they get the opening goal? Very, very lackluster finish from David Simukonda. It's a shame, because that pass was very well disguised, and it was perfectly in that area between the last defender and the goalkeeper. Mamadou Jadot thought about coming out, didn't. He's going to go to ground, the captain of Sierra Leone, Momo Camara, their top goal scorer in the qualifiers. Obviously in discomfort. The 86th minute of play, maybe with cramp. That was a lovely pass. The layoff here was quite good too, but well closed down by number 4, Alpha Touray. Yawns in the crowd. Of course, it hasn't been the most thrilling encounter of football. Only 4 shots on target, and none of them really forcing picturesque saves from the goalkeepers. And this is an interesting moment. It's going to be Ousmane Camara to come on. The 18-year-old who arrives on Friday in Egypt. Plays his club football for the North London club Arsenal Football Club. He's actually featured in for the under-21 side a few times this season. One to look out for in the future, only 18 years of age. It's promising. He'll have a few minutes to showcase his skills as he comes on for Momo Camara. Banda still the 88th minute trying to force the issue. He's often been double teamed, Banda. It does feel that Zambia perhaps wasted an opportunity to pick up points against the side in Sierra Leone who of course perhaps even played better this match, but with all the experience of a side that has already won the tournament, you'd expect for them to take this match very seriously. Banda still on the ball, and he's dispossessed by Bangura. Bangura defending well and even winning the goal kick. Let's see, was there contact? Oh, difficult, I didn't see it too clearly there. Mamadou Jadot, goalkeeper from Denmark's Brøndby IFU system. Built a reputation for having great reflexes as a goalkeeper for Sierra Leone, and shot-stopping ability. Hasn't had to showcase it too much tonight. See if we can get a few glimpses of Ousmane Camara, described in the Sierra Leonean press as an Arsenal wonder kid. As the clock ticks down to the 90th minute, the final questions to be asked will be how many minutes of added time given by the refereeing team here. Bangura in the box, found the back of the net, but the whistle was blown previously before his shot was even taken. Beautiful balance on that shot, however. You can see that's the quality that they were missing. Yeah, maybe a foul in the duel between the two sides. The elbow, number 9, Kagbo, was a little high. But then nothing to say about the quality of the shot by Bangura. His right leg firmly planted in the ground. The motion of his left leg to swipe at that ball and can it into the back of the net was something to behold. It's a shame. Oh, it's a good cross. Met with the head. On, just didn't get any power behind it. Ba, who's now found himself on the left, when he had come on, found himself on the right, but there's been a bit of a reshuffle by Mohamed Lamine Camara. Alba Camara deflects the ball. Through that deflection, it's fortunate for the young Chapolo Polo. 6 minutes of added time. And Sierra Leone, they have numbers going forward. Oh, it's a good pace. Mkagbo, he's met by 2-3 players, but keeps possession. Bangura, can he look up and find another teammate? Fakes the back heel, low cross. Number 2 for Sierra Leone. The volley, and it's completely scuffed by Ba. Instead of looking to his left and for Oba Kamara, went for glory, Samba Ba. It's a shame. Sierra Leone really could have benefited from that goal. Zambia playing with a little bit more urgency than we saw. Perhaps it's the showing of the stoppage time that's prompting them to attack with a little bit more hunger. So the next opponent for Sierra Leone will be Egypt on the 30th of April. Zambia have a little bit of a break until May 3rd, where they'll also take on Egypt. All these matches will be played at the Suez Canal Stadium, this very stadium. So they'll be very familiar with it. Sierra Leone will then take on South Africa, while Zambia will take on Tanzania. And on the 9th of May, Zambia will close out the group, play their 4th match of the group against South Africa. So after tonight's match between Egypt and South Africa, there's a little break of 3 days when competition officially, well, has officially taken off, where the rhythm will start to accelerate in terms of games played. The frequency will be increasing. Good duel between Bangura and Jalo. Just tried a little bit to be too tricky, too complex, and Bangura makes a mess of it. It's a pity. So after tonight's match between Egypt and South Africa, finishing little break of 3 days. Oba Kamara, competition officially, well, has officially taken off. Strong header, but it only finds a path to Oba Kamara, cleared without any risk by David Buyoya. The frequency will be increasing. Final minutes and final moments of this match, the opener of the Group A match. Just trying a little bit to be too tricky, too complex, and Bangura. As it stands, both of these sides will make a mess of it. Finish with 1 point apiece, unless the shooting stars of Sierra Leone can break the deadlock put in place by Zambia. That seems to be the most likely of outcomes. After the draw, Oba Kamara, strong header, but it only finds a pass to Oba Kamara. Cross in without any risk. Sets right back to the deliverer, Amadou Keita. 5 minutes, Keita, excuse me. The opener, Jalo, very high upon his, outside of his box, the goalkeeper for Sierra Leone. Sends it forward. Maybe put a little bit too much power behind that long ball, and apiece. Just kept bouncing away. The shooting stars of Sierra Leone, cross, which was met by Ba, put in place by Zambia. That seems to be good enough to get the ball on target, but after the draw, Oba Kamara, strong header, but it only finds a pass. Cross in, Keita, last-ditch defending there. To the good bit of ball work from Keita, from Alpha Kabia. Jalo, a very just be the last offensive play of the match. Well,
Sends it forward. Maybe put a little bit too much. Both of these sides power behind that long ball and point us on the piece.
it's launched far.
Just kept bouncing away. The shooting
David
stars
Buyoya
are cross, which was met by Bob.
keeps it in play with the header. Lovely cutback to the number 20 of Zambia, who's not going to take any risks and shoot towards the goal. It's going to go out of bounds, and the clock will tick as fast as ever to the 6th minute. And Shamir Nabada, the referee, blows her whistle for the final time of the match. It's all even between Zambia and Sierra Leone. Nothing to make the difference between the two. Tightly contested affair where Sierra Leone perhaps showcased the more ambitious and offensive brand of football. Zambia, previous winners, not exactly showcasing that championship winning pedigree against a side that are participating for the very first time in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. There were some revelations. Sierra Leone are a side that do play with unity, are very compact and transition well, especially on the wings. They do lack some finishing quality, however, that will have to be looked at. Zambia, on the other hand, have some big problems in terms of their build-up and their approach play. They have individual brilliances, but have to work on that team unity, which was lacking in this match. Nonetheless, either side could have gotten the victory. And both managers, Mohamed Lamine Camara and Mwanda Boyd, will have to focus on the positives of what they saw as this tournament is fully underway. Next on May 30th, it'll be Africa Cup of Nations. Sierra Leone taking on the hosts Egypt. Zambia will also take on the host Egypt, but that will be on May 3rd. Man of the match is Joseph Sabobo or Joseph Banda. He'll be interviewed here.